Let's get into a race that we are rebroadcasting on FloBikes, one of the best races we've ever shown on FloBikes, the 2018 Giro d'Italia. This week, we are going to be talking about our favorite stage, or one of our favorite stages. There's kind of too many just to pick one. Again, that is not stage 19. Michael, I'll let you dive into it.
Okay, so what I've gone with is a stage that we have coming up this week on FloBikes. We are rebroadcasting the 2018 Giro, live streaming every evening. Stage 15. This is the day after Mount Zoncolan. On Zoncolan, Chris Froome won. It was the first time that Simon Yates looked remotely human. Chris Froome looked like he might be able to mount some sort of a comeback. Stage 15 was a big mountain day. There was not an inch of flat road the entire day. It was in the Dolomites. The weather was going to get bad in the later stages of the race. It took ages for a breakaway to go. We saw an awesome preview, actually, throughout the race of Giulio Ciccone. Before he signed with Trek Segafredo, he gave us a preview of what we were going to see him do in the 2019 Giro. Driving the break, whittling it down, going after KOM points. He did a phenomenal race, but what was really going on was behind Ciccone, this group of favorites just tearing themselves apart. It was raced on the climbs. It was raced on the descents. Miguel Angel Lopez just absolutely railed it on one of the final descents. He ended up gapping off Chris Froome and the rest of Team Sky. Froome was just like 100 feet behind the group with Yates, Dumoulin, Lopez going on one of these final climbs and couldn't make it back. Yates attacked a couple times. He ended up going solo with 17 kilometers to go and rode it into the finish. Everybody was in tatters, throwing everything they had at it. Tom Dumoulin got dropped. Team Sky was going ballistic trying to get Chris Froome back in contention. And all the while, Yates was just powering to the line. And what I really loved about this race is just the day before, we had been seeing Yates dominant, untouchable on every mountain. The day before, we're like, okay, things are changing. Maybe Yates is getting tired. Chris Froome is coming around. The next day, Yates just comes out with the bazooka and just decimates everybody. Everybody's hopes and dreams were crushed. And nobody would have thought that Yates could have lost the Giro after that stage.
Yeah, I think two things stuck out for me from this stage. Number one is that this was a dominant performance by Simon Yates, but this was also kind of the nail in the coffin for Simon Yates. He was so aggressive throughout the first 2 weeks of this Giro, and it came to his detriment in the final week, in the final 3 stages in the mountains, where he completely fell apart. Let's not forget that this was part of a brutal 3-day block of racing. Mount Zoncolan the day before, this rugged mountain stage finishing in Zapata on stage 15, and then the individual time trial in stage 16, where Yates himself said he went so deep in that time trial that essentially he wasn't able to recover from that in the final week of racing. So we saw later in the year Yates racing quite a bit more conservatively en route to winning the Vuelta a España. But at the time, it was extremely exciting to watch someone just attacking at will and riding away from the biggest riders in the world. The other thing was that Tom Dumoulin's frustration with Miguel Angel Lopez and Richard Carapaz having their own rivalry within the midst of this GC battle going on was driving him absolutely nuts. He was trying to chase Yates, as he seemed to be doing during the entire Giro d'Italia, either chasing Simon Yates or chasing Chris Froome. Meanwhile, Miguel Angel Lopez and Richard Carapaz are either sitting on or attacking him. So a very frustrating stage for Tom Dumoulin, but an exciting one nonetheless.